At the heart of the vast African wilderness, a place where size and strength dictate the rules of life and death, there is a creature so audacious, so utterly defiant, that even the king of the jungle, the mighty lion, thinks twice before engaging. This is not some colossal beast or a titan of the savannah. It is small, unassuming, and looks like it just rolled out of a brawl it single-handedly started and finished. This is the honey badger, an animal that redefines the very essence of courage. Its story teaches us a profound lesson. True fearlessness isn't about being the biggest or the strongest. It is a raw, unyielding survival instinct forged in the crucible of the wild. To understand the honey badger's legendary reputation, we must first look at its biological makeup, a masterpiece of deadly design packed into a surprisingly small frame. Weighing a mere 9 to 16 kilograms and standing only about 28 centimeters tall at the shoulder, the honey badger is dwarfed by the predators it routinely confronts. A lion can outweigh it by more than 20 times, yet the badger stares it down without a flicker of hesitation. This incredible confidence comes from a body built not for aesthetics, but for relentless, brutal efficiency. Every single part of its anatomy is a weapon or a shield, honed by millennia of evolution for one purpose: survival at all costs. Its first line of defense is its remarkable skin. It's not just fur. It's a suit of armor. The skin is incredibly thick, rubbery, and astonishingly loose, allowing the badger to twist and turn viciously, even when held in the jaws of a much larger animal. A predator might grab it by the scruff of its neck, a killing bite for most creatures, only for the honey badger to spin around inside its own skin and sink its teeth into the attacker's face. This defensive layer is so tough that it has been known to deflect arrows and even machete blows. Furthermore, this incredible hide is complemented by an almost supernatural resistance to venom. While not entirely immune, a honey badger can survive the bite of some of the world's most venomous snakes, like the puff adder or the Cape cobra dose that would be fatal to a human many times over. But the honey badger is not just built to defend. It is a formidable attacker. Its jaws are immensely powerful, equipped with short, sturdy teeth, capable of crushing bone and shell with astonishing ease. They can splinter a tortoise's shell, a feat that challenges even the powerful hyena. Its front paws are armed with long, formidable claws, not delicate like a cat's, but thick and robust like a set of digging tools. These claws can tear through thick soil, rip apart termite mounds, and peel back the bark of trees as if it were paper. The honey badger is a living excavator, a furry demolition machine. Every element of its body, from its venom-resistant blood to its bone-crushing jaws and shovel-like claws, serves a single clear purpose. There is no decoration, no wasted feature. It is pure, unadulterated survival engineering. If its body is a weapon, its personality is the trigger, and it's a trigger with no safety. The honey badger is born with a temperament that can only be described as relentlessly aggressive. It is an animal seemingly devoid of a retreat button. In its world, there is only one direction: forward. When faced with a threat, its instinct isn't to flee, assess, or hide. Its instinct is to attack. This creature will unhesitatingly challenge animals that common sense would dictate it avoid at all costs. Lions, leopards, hyenas, and African rock pythons are all on its list of potential adversaries. It doesn't just confront them, it provokes them. There are countless documented cases of honey badgers stealing food directly from a pack of lions or chasing leopards up a tree, seemingly for the sheer audacity of it. This animal is a solitary wanderer, a lone warrior traversing the savannah with a level of self-assurance that borders on arrogance. It's almost comical to watch its behavior. It says if its brain hasn't finished processing the concept of danger before its body has already launched a full frontal assault. It doesn't calculate odds or weigh risks. It sees a challenge and meets it with immediate, overwhelming ferocity. This isn't recklessness for its own sake. It's a deeply ingrained strategy. By projecting an aura of absolute, insane courage, the honey badger convinces much larger and stronger animals that a fight with it simply is worth the inevitable injury and trouble. Its reputation precedes it, a whispered warning among the denizens of the wild. Do not mess with the honey badger. Its aggressive personality is paired with an equally robust survival strategy. one that isn't about being the strongest, but simply the toughest and most adaptable. The honey badger is a true omnivore, possessing a palate as broad as its territory. Its diet is a testament to its opportunism. As its name suggests, it has a famous love for honey and bee larvae, braving thousands of angry stings to raid beehives. But its menu is far more extensive. It is a masterful hunter of venomous snakes, tracking them down with relentless determination. It'll also consume insects, scorpions, rodents, birds, eggs, and even the young of larger animals like foxes or antelope. If it can't find fresh prey, it's not above scavenging carrion. Essentially, the rule is simple. If it's edible, it's food. This dietary flexibility allows it to thrive in an astonishing range of environments, from the scorching Kalahari Desert to dense forests and open savannas. While other species are specialized for a particular niche, the honey badger is a generalist in the extreme. It doesn't need a specific type of habitat or a single source of food to survive. It makes do with what it has, wherever it is. This adaptability is the secret to its widespread success across Africa and parts of Asia. The subtext of its existence is a powerful one. Survival doesn't belong to the most perfect or specialized organism, but to the one that is most stubborn, most versatile, and simply refuses to quit. The legends surrounding the honey badger are as wild and dramatic as the animal itself, filled with cinematic encounters that sound more like fiction than fact. One of the most famous tales is the honey badger versus the cobra. In a typical confrontation, the badger will relentlessly attack the highly venomous snake. During the fight, it often gets bitten. The neurotoxin begins to take effect, and the badger will stagger, collapse, and appear to be dead. The story should end there. But for the honey badger, it's merely an intermission. Hours later, after its unique metabolism has processed the venom, the badger simply wakes up, shakes itself off, and often proceeds to finish its serpentine meal as if nothing more than a brief nap had occurred. Then there are the epic clashes with larger predators. Imagine a clan of hyenas, powerful and numerous, surrounding a kill. Suddenly a small, black and white creature barrels into their midst, snarling and charging with utter disregard for the massive size and number disadvantage. It doesn't ask for a share. It demands the entire meal, often successfully intimidating the clan into backing away. Or picture a pride of lions feasting on a buffalo. The honey badger will march right up to the kill, weaving between the giant cats to tear off a piece of meat for itself. The lions, confused and wary of this tiny, ferocious interloper, often let it go, seemingly deciding that engaging with such a maniacal beast is a risk not worth taking. These aren't isolated incidents. They are patterns of behavior that have cemented the honey badger's status as a legend. So why, in a continent teeming with giants like elephants, rhinos, and apex predators like lions and leopards, is the honey badger widely considered Africa's toughest animal? It's because toughness isn't measured in size or speed. The honey badger's not the biggest. It is not the fastest. It certainly isn't the strongest in terms of raw power. But its claim to the title is built on a foundation of intangible, yet unbeatable qualities. It is an animal that appears to feel no fear, a creature that largely ignores pain, and a spirit that will never, ever back down. Its mindset is its greatest weapon. This reputation is so well established that the Guinness World Records has officially recognized it as the most fearless animal in the world, a fitting title for a creature that lives its life as a constant defiant challenge to the natural order. Ultimately, the honey badger transcends its biological reality to become a powerful metaphor. It represents the underdog, the individual at the bottom of the food chain who refuses to accept their designated place. It is the embodiment of grit, the spirit of anyone who has been underestimated, overlooked, or pushed down, yet continues to fight back with everything they have. The honey badger is a symbol for those who refuse to be defined by their limitations, who stare into the face of overwhelming odds and choose not to run, but to attack. It teaches us a vital lesson from the unforgiving plains of Africa, a truth that applies as much to our own lives as it does to the wild. In the brutal game of existence, survival doesn't always belong to the strongest, the biggest, or the fastest. It belongs to the one who simply refuses to die. Nature is not fair. So how does a small animal survive in Africa's living hell? Imagine a creature with no overwhelming size to intimidate its rivals, no blinding speed to outrun danger, and no protective pack to rely on for safety. It wanders the harsh, unforgiving landscapes alone, a solitary figure in a world dominated by giants and coordinated killers. This animal should, by all logic, be an easy meal, a footnote in the food chain. Yet it thrives. The central question is not just how it survives, but what it relies on to stare down death and make the wilderness bend to its will. The answer lies with a creature that embodies pure defiance, the honey badger. It doesn't just live in this brutal world. It rewrites the very rules of survival that govern all other animals. The unforgiving theater of the wild, there are unwritten laws that most creatures instinctively follow to see another sunrise. Rule number 1. If you are small, you run. When a predator appears, the gazelle flees, the meerkat scurries for its burrow, and the rabbit bolts for cover. Evasion is the primary strategy. But the honey badger breaks this rule with contempt. When faced with a threat, its first instinct is not to turn tail, but to turn and face the danger head-on, often charging forward with a guttural hiss that promises violence. It simply does not run. Rule number 2 dictates that weaker animals must avoid conflict at all costs. A lone wild dog would not challenge a lion. A jackal gives a leopard a wide berth. Prudence and avoidance are key to conserving energy and avoiding a fatal encounter. The honey badger, however, seems to find this rule insulting. It actively seeks confrontation. It will brazenly steal a kill from a much larger predator, invade the burrow of a venomous snake, or march straight into a situation that would make any other animal of its size freeze in terror. Finally, there is the third rule. Solitude is a severe disadvantage. Animals like lions, hyenas, and wild dogs hunt in groups, leveraging their numbers for strength and security. A solitary animal is an exposed one, vulnerable from all sides. Yet the honey badger transforms this apparent weakness into its greatest strength. Its solitude means it has only itself to rely on, fostering a level of self-sufficiency and ferocity that is unmatched. It doesn't need a pack because it is a one-animal army. The crucial point to understand is that the honey badger did not evolve to follow the rules of nature. It evolved to break them, forging its own path through sheer, unadulterated audacity. This relentless defiance is not born from mindless aggression or recklessness. It stems from the mind of a calculated risk-taker, a cognitive machine fine-tuned for survival in a high-stakes environment. While its actions may seem impulsive, they are rooted in an incredibly rapid thought process. The honey badger possesses an extraordinary ability for fast risk assessment, analyzing a threat, weighing its options, making a decision in the blink of an eye. There is no hesitation, no second-guessing, only instant, decisive action. This is not a lack of fear. This decision-making is backed by a strong and reliable memory. A honey badger remembers the exact location of every promising beehive across its vast territory, returning to these food sources with pinpoint accuracy. It also remembers past encounters, learning which creatures to harass and which to attack with lethal intent. This memory is coupled with an insatiable curiosity. It constantly pokes, prods, and investigates its environment, a behavior that leads to constant experimentation. Through this trial-and-error process, it learns at an astonishing rate, discovering new ways to open tough shells, new techniques for cornering prey, and new methods for dealing with threats. From a scientific perspective, this so-called fearlessness is not a personality flaw. It is a biological strategy. By removing hesitation, the honey badger gains a critical split-second advantage in a world where a moment's delay means death. Beyond its formidable mindset, the honey badger is equipped with a set of hidden weapons that make it one of the most durable animals on the planet. Its power is not about brute strength in the way a lion is strong. Instead, its advantage lies in its almost supernatural ability to endure punishment. Its most famous defense is its remarkably loose skin. When a predator, even a lion, clamps down on its back, the honey badger can twist and turn completely around within its own hide, freeing its claws and teeth to viciously attack its assailant's face and eyes. This turns a potentially lethal bite into a tactical mistake for the attacker. Furthermore, it has an exceptional, almost legendary tolerance for pain. It can sustain injuries that would incapacitate or kill most other animals, yet it continues to fight with undiminished ferocity. This is complemented by its well-documented resistance to venom. The honey badger preys on some of the world's deadliest snakes, such as puff adders and cape cobras. Even if it gets bitten and receives a dose of venom that would be fatal to a human, it often just passes out for a few hours, only to wake up and finish its meal. This turns a deadly confrontation into a mere inconvenience. Its powerful, non-retractable claws are not just for digging. They are formidable weapons. Paired with its powerful jaws and sharp teeth, it doesn't just bite randomly. It instinctively aims for the most vulnerable points of its opponents, making every strike count. A simple comparison puts it into perspective. Lions win with overwhelming strength. Honey badgers win by simply refusing to die. In the honey badger's world, confrontation is not always a choice. It is a necessity. Therefore, it has perfected the art of the fight. It doesn't avoid conflict, but it does not fight blindly either. Strategy is not one of prolonged, exhausting battles. Instead, it relies on short, fast, and brutally targeted strikes. It lunges in, delivers a vicious bite or a series of rapid claw swipes at a sensitive area, and then repositions. The goal is often not an outright kill, especially with larger opponents. The primary objective is psychological intimidation. It aims to inflict enough pain and shock to convince the other animal that the fight is simply not worth the cost. The honey badger projects an aura of crazed, unpredictable violence that unnerves even the apex predators of the African savanna. It communicates a clear and terrifying message. I may not be able to kill you, but I will maim you. I will tear out your eyes. I will not stop. I will not tire, and I feel no pain. This is a powerful deterrent. Predators are hardwired to assess risk, and they instinctively fear the opponent that has no clear limits, the one that doesn't seem to care about its own survival. The honey badger is that opponent, an embodiment of chaos that disrupts the natural order of fear. There are moments in the wild documented by stunned onlookers and seasoned rangers that make nature itself seem to hesitate. These are the honey badger moments, episodes that feel like glitches in the system. Imagine a leopard, the master of stealth and arboreal ambush, treed and relentlessly harassed by a honey badger that has climbed up to confront it. Defying the natural order of predator and prey, picture the scene of a single honey badger, vastly outnumbered, standing its ground against a cackling pack of hyenas, charging into their midst rather than retreating. And perhaps most famously, witness the surreal spectacle of a honey badger collapsing from a cobra's venomous bite, lying still as if dead, only to stir, get back on its feet, and calmly resume eating the snake that nearly killed it. These instances are more than just incredible anecdotes. They challenge our understanding of the rules. They feel like a bug in the code of the natural world, a variable that was never accounted for. The honey badger doesn't just exist within the system, it actively disrupts it, forcing everything around it to question the established hierarchy of power and fear. But this creature is not just a symbol of chaos. It plays a vital, if underappreciated, role in its ecosystem. The honey badger provides a deeper message about why nature needs its rebels. By preying on venomous snakes, scorpions, and insects, it helps control the populations of these often dangerous animals, maintaining a delicate balance. Its very presence disrupts the rigid hierarchy of the savanna, forcing stronger and larger predators to adapt and reconsider their own strategies. It proves that dominance is not solely the domain of the big and powerful. Ultimately, the honey badger stands as a powerful symbol. It is a living testament to endurance in the face of impossible odds. It represents defiance against a system that seems rigged for its failure. In a world that often rewards conformity, the honey badger is a celebration of the nonconformist, the outlier, the indomitable spirit that refuses to be broken. It teaches us that sometimes the only way to survive is not to follow the rules, but to become the one who breaks them.